Welcome back to San Diego People. Operation Thin Mint was founded in 2002, and since then, local Girl Scouts have teamed up with the community to send nearly 1.5 million boxes of Girl Scout cookies, along with notes of support to deployed U.S. troops. Back with me now is the originator of the operation, Jody Jacob, along with 3rd Fleet Command Master Chief Joanne Ortloff. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Operation Thin Mint. First of all, when I say that, your face lights up. You're very proud of that.
I am proud of it because when we started it, operation is a big mouthful of word for a little girl. So just the training for them to say Operation Thin Mint was a huge milestone that we had to. And fast forward to today, literally, we will be sending off our 2 millionth box of Operation Thin Mint cookies on the 12th of May. That's so exciting.
And there's that jump between a Girl Scout in San Diego and a young man or a young woman in uniform serving thousands and thousands of miles away, and somehow you've made that connection.
It is. It's a taste of home and a note to show that we care, because community members and Girl Scouts will write notes, and I think the sailors enjoy reading the notes as much as eating the cookies.
And Master Chief, tell me what this means to the Navy just overall, and then we'll talk specifically, I'm sure, what it means to these men and women who get these wonderful boxes.
Well, I can tell you what it means to us is that we're still connected to home. Many of us were Girl Scouts or Scouts as junior, what we call junior sailors. And to receive that taste of home keeps us connected not just with our youth and ourselves, but with our families back home. Many of us don't have the connection through email during certain exercises, but we always have the cookies when they send them.
And really, we talk about a taste of home, and it's almost a cliche, but it really is an emotional connection. The smell, the texture, all of that, when you are that far away from home and maybe scared a little bit, or certainly lonely, and having that moment in your life, right?
Oh, absolutely. The sensory overload from just seeing the box of cookies, for example, on the ship, when the replenishment ship comes and you can see that huge crate with Operation Thin Mint across the boxes, and everybody just knows that as soon as the exercise is over, we're going to get cookies. So it makes it go a little faster. But you can smell the cookies without even opening the box.
And in addition to the cookies, there are notes that come along with these. And I've got a couple of them here in front of me. I obviously can't show them all, but we all miss you, and they drew some pictures of some of the cookies on these. Operation Thin Mint, a taste of home, and a note to show we care. These notes are very special too, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. When we get the cookies and we get the notes and we hand them out to our sailors, they will go back to their barracks room, their berthing, they'll go to the mess decks, they'll share the notes with each other, and most of the time, right then and there, they'll start a note back to that Girl Scout because they want them to know that they care too.
I'll bet it's generated some talk on board ship or on base if you're far away too about, like you said, being a Boy Scout, being a Girl Scout. I remember when I was, and you get that conversation started.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll talk about how we sold cookies. We talk about, our favorite cookies, and it actually starts other conversations with the sailors. So you could say that Operation Thin Mint actually is not just a taste of home and a note from home, but it inspires each other to talk about their lives where they are and bond new friendships, and it just starts a whole new relationship.
Jody, look what you've started.
Oh, the community started it.
Yeah, obviously.
You know, here in San Diego, everybody has a brother or sister, a mom or dad, a neighbor, somebody that serves in the military. So we in San Diego feel so special about our deployed servicemen and women. It was a community service project of San Diego. That's what's so special about it.
So we talked about how the sailors feel when they get this. Talk about how the Girl Scouts feel when they send them and then get that note back. It's like they must really light up.
They love the feedback from the fleet, we say. Not only the notes and the emails, but sometimes we'll actually get a flag that was flown in Afghanistan. And when it comes, the girls can feel the sand and smell the dirt in that flag. It really is quite illustrative of what's going on long, long far away.
Are there any stories that either one of you have particularly about this program of a particular man or woman, either out at sea or a particular Girl Scout, that was particularly touched, and maybe there's a long-term relationship, a friendship going on because of Operation Thin Mint?
Well, I can share with you that recently talking with one of my chief petty officers, our religious petty officer, while she was in Afghanistan working with the Army, she did mention that it was the first time that she had seen the church full, completely to capacity, standing room only, because it was Operation Thin Mint.
It's a way to get them in the door.
It was a way to get them in the door. But what it did was it inspired others to continue to go to those services days, months, and years later. So that started that inspiration in many sailors who didn't know that they had that inspiration, and started with a cookie.
I like the story of the SEAL that got the Thin Mint brick. Before we sent our cookies in air-conditioned refrigerators, they would melt in the desert, then they would be refrozen and then melt and refrozen again. By the time he got it, it was a Thin Mint brick.
A brick.
And he loved it.
He still ate it, didn't he? We have about 2 minutes left, and now that you're both here, this is a very special celebration of 100 years of the Girl Scouts. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, but what do you see looking forward for the Girl Scouts for the next 100 years? Because it's going to go on and on and on, isn't it?
It is. It's great to look back and celebrate. We're taking this moment in history to celebrate. The 12th of March, 2012 will be the 100th anniversary of Girl Scouts. But what I'm looking forward is the next 100 years of Girl Scouting, where we will continue to have girls to grow up to be leaders in our country and make the world a better place. It may be in space, and it certainly will involve technology, but the bedrock core values of Girl Scouting for 100 years are with us for the next 200 years.
Just occurred to me, sitting here earlier this week was International Women's Day.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sitting here with two very powerful and influential women in our community. Got to feel pretty good, isn't it?
It does, and I started as a Girl Scout over 40 years ago, I'm proud to say, and I agree with Jody. Our core values in the Navy are honor, courage, and commitment. They're not that far off from the literal sense of the Girl Scouts core values, and it helped me be the woman I am today.
What program do you see happening in the next 20 years? We've got Operation Thin Mint. Is there something else down the pipe that that is in the works?
One thing I think that we do very, very well is we provide women role models for our girls. We have programs called In Her Shoes, job shadowing. But part of the challenge that girls have is they need to see successful leaders and role models that they can emulate and look forward to. And I got to tell you, Master Chief, you're a great role model for our girls.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think I'm looking at two great role models for our community right now. Thank you very much. Let me say again, happy birthday to the Girl Scouts. Thank you for all you do as far as the military is concerned. And let's all celebrate
Happy
the Girl
birthday,
Scouts
Girl
this year.
Scouts.
Happy birthday, Girl Scouts.
Happy birthday, Girl Scouts.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And that's it for this morning's edition of San Diego People. Join us tonight for the KUSI News at 6, 10, and 11, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.